skirt down for a minute. Right now, I just need to know what we lost and how much we got left.
I need you to focus on your goals and dreams so we can get out of here ASAP.
Don't do nothing. Just stay right there.
9 times out of 10, them niggas gonna try to spin back, you heard?
When we find out who did it, you gonna read about it.
Every day I'm trying to chase a check.
You recognize the man in the bed?
Yeah.
Once one foot in the door.
I think you should stop hiding the truth.
I'm gonna tell him, okay?
You're gonna have to double that to make things right, man.
I see this shit clear as day, but I don't know if it's gonna be easy to convince the rest of them.
Right now, it's between me and him and nobody else.
Either stay down till we come up, get the fuck out the way while we blow up.
Trap, bacon, egg, and cheese, shit, I'm on the road. I could get it to you half or you could get it whole. I just call a big bro, he's still on the stove, the hood and getting hot.
This. Hey! Drinks and food on the house on us tonight. So, Brooklyn Records is in the house.
Let's go!
Yeah!
I can never be a goofy out. I was bringing pounds and with that pole moving you get shot. I ain't never playing the center, but I got a block. I ain't never playing.
Welcome everybody to a special episode, real special episode. I'm real proud about this one. You know, King Ace Network, Moment of Clarity show. It's your man King Ace in the building. First off, let me give a shout out to my sponsors, Bell Home Bed Butter, black owned company. You know what I'm saying? Wear your beard like it's your crown, don't wear it down. Real men gotta have that facial hair, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to clown nobody who don't, but get what I'm saying? Alright, I just want to get straight into this. We got my man David. We got AMIR. And we got my man John. Right? So this interview it's gonna be basically going back and forth with all three of you stories and how everybody got together. So Dave, since you the first one up on the couch, you know what I mean? Let's you know, you introduce yourself and let everybody know what it is that you do.
All right. My name is David Quinones. I'm a film producer and partner to my brother John Arrington in this film thing that we're doing.
All right, AMIR.
Shit. What else can I say? You know, I'm the young gun, you feel me? These are my big bros. I'm like, I mean, if we was on the streets, I'll be the shooter and they be my big homies, you heard? Straight like that.
John,
Director, DP, writer, editor, colorist. I'm probably
many titles.
Yeah, just about everything that you could can encompass in when it comes to filmmaking. So, you know.
So, when you say you and John are partners, right? How did you guys become partners, and where did you guys' friendship stem from?
Who's directing that to me?
Well, to you, but either one of y'all could, you know, can answer it.
So this starts from a long time ago, bro. Like, we started as kids. You know what I mean? We didn't start off in film. We started off like anybody else growing up in the late 80s, early 90s. We wanted to be rappers.
Okay.
How it started, John approached me. Was like, yo, you rap? And I said, yeah, I rap. And he said, you want to be partners? And then when we get nice, we could split. And I was like, bet. And we was rocking ever since.
Just like that?
Just like that. Of course, we kin-spirited, though.
Right.
We kin-spirited. It's, you know, through every trial and tribulation, every growth spurt, everything, we've managed to keep a long-standing relationship, brotherhood, to make sure that each one is all right outside of business. And it grew into us knowing each other's, like he probably know me better than I know myself, and I probably know him better than he know himself. So it's kind of like on that end, where we could make it merge and do things the right way and understand business.
How do y'all differentiate business and personal? How do y'all differentiate that?
I think we probably started doing that in the last 2 years, to be honest with you. And I think that's where the success started happening. Because before that, so I have to contribute it or attribute it to my boy Hev, God rest his soul.
Definitely.
He was our father, but also our OG.
Okay.
He taught us how to move, taught us how to whatever. He taught us the risk that we were taking back then. We didn't have to pitch, put it. You know what I'm saying? So, but he always made sure we maintain a brotherhood. So it was never business for any of us. Me, him, Hev, Matra, any of us. It was never real business. It was, yo, brothers are doing something and we're going to make sure that we make this work and so on and so forth. In the last 2 years, we've been separating the friendship from the business because the friendship was actually, as you get older, it starts to cloud the business decisions because now it's personal when you decide to make a decision when you know this is good business. But you're going to go, nah, but I feel, but this is good business. So we butt heads now more on the business aspect than friendship. As far as friendship, I got to go to the crib and fix everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, the wires is not working. I got to go fix it. But as far as the business aspect of it, we really understood it more in the last 2 years of understanding that sometimes the decision making ain't even based off of the friendship. It's based off of just good business. And this is where you seen like the film Love do 350,000 views on YouTube.
Right. Very
like
great
6
film, by the
months.
way. I need to watch that.
Appreciate it. Like in like 6 months, like we was at 350. You dig? You know how Flashes did 20,000 or 27,000.
Another good one.
And you know what I'm saying? And just how the show that you're in right now, which is the Red Hook series, how organically we just put it out and it's still doing numbers on YouTube.
Yes,
we
it is.
9,400 views, like, and no real campaigning, no nothing. Just letting the algorithm do what it do.
Speak for itself, right?
Exactly. So the business part we had to kind of figure out. We figured that out in the last 2 years.
So with figuring out the business part, you know, y'all two have been down together since the unentertainment era. You know what I'm saying? Before that, right? But how was the experience with the being with unentertainment? I learned some things about y'all that I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? It's music videos that people don't even know that y'all shot. You know, sometimes I like to tell people when they pull up here, right? I like to capture a moment of clarity. And sometimes I feel like when some people talk about their accomplishments, some people just be too like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Like, I be expecting people, nigga, stand up on the couch and be like, yeah, I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you mad smooth cat daddy with it. Like, yeah, I did that. Yeah, we shot some. You know what I mean? But we got to talk about those accomplishments because some people would never know. And that era right there is something that, you know, I'm younger, but I still come from that. You know, that core hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get to you too, bro. I'm just trying to put some pieces together right now, but I want y'all two to expound more on the unentertainment era.
So we met at 16.
Yeah.
So one of our other OGs, CD, I call him Unk as well, and our OG Have brought us to Daddy O's house. Kedar
That's a Sonic.
Kedar Massacre, Just, which is like our big brother too. Un is also our big brother now, but at the time, we were closer to Just than Un. We go to audition to be a part of Junior Mafia.
See, this is why we're about to get a moment of clarity right here.
So we was going to audition to be a part of Junior Mafia. When Un and Kedar heard the production that we were doing, Un was like, yo, they don't need to rap. They need to be doing production. So, long story short, we wanted to be rappers. We didn't want to be producers. So we was like, bump it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we not about to produce for Junior Mafia. Big and them just finished walking up the block. Him, Kim, Nino, C's, all them niggas just left out of the...
So it all started with y'all just wanting to rap.
Just wanting to rap.
Yeah, we always wanted to rap.
And then the fast forward, Dave go to the Aaliyah video.
Hot Like Fire.
Hot Like Fire. He see the nigga Un remembers him like, yo, da.
That was crazy because we wasn't supposed to be in there, right? I told John was producer for Majet, right?
Majet for
John was
for Polygram Records.
Polygram Record.
Polygram.
We was
Polygram
upstairs
was still,
producing for this girl. And I heard that Aaliyah was in the back of the project shooting the video.
That's crazy.
And the director was Lance Rivera. So I said, yo, I'm going to the back, bro. You can stay here and, well, I'm going to the back. And he was like, go ahead, man, you know. So I go back there, and the way God had it was, my man that I went to high school with was the security. And I'm on the bike. I'm on a regular bicycle. I said, yo, son, let me get in there. And he like, Dave, I can't let you in. I said, my nigga, I'm getting in here. Whether you're going to let me in or I'm going to pass you. He said,
I'm getting in there.
I said, walk me to Un. If Un don't know who I am, then I'll walk right back out with you. You know me, you owe me enough to do that. He said, bet. We walk over there. I dropped the bike. I don't even know who bike I had. I dropped
the block bike.
I forgot the block bike.
With the block bike.
I dropped the bike. I think Mason and them just left with their Lamborghinis or whatever. And I just walked up to there, and it was Missy, Timbaland, Charlie Baltimore, Just Top, and
come on, these some legendary names y'all naming right now, man.
So I walk up to there, Un looking at me. I said, yo, Un, you don't remember me? I mean, I ain't had no hair on my face, but I got hair on my face now. You remember me? We was producing, we was rapping. My man Hev, my partner John, boom, boom. He said, yo, Shorty, what's good with you? And my man left. He made me sit in the director's chair. Just come over. Just is like, oh yeah, Shorty was good, blah, blah, blah. Top come over, Timbaland come over, and Just is like, yo, they the next producers for entertainment. And I was going, well, it was Undears turning into entertainment. And I was like, I bet.
Nah, he was actually entertainment. He was already entertainment.
So Aaliyah came over to me. This is my highlight, right? Aaliyah comes over to me, and I'm like stunned, like, cause you know, Aaliyah was beautiful.
Who wouldn't be? You know what I'm saying?
And she was like, "How you doing?" And she got, yo, I could smell her lip gloss, bro. And she was right here in my face. And it was. I'm 20 years old. Boy, I was 21, 22, something like that. So
20-something.
I think Aaliyah's a little bit younger than me, right? So I couldn't flip out, but her parents was there, her brother was there, so it felt right. It felt like we belonged there. You know what I'm saying? And when I went home, all John could say is word. But that was the beginning of us getting to that point. Top gave me his number. I gave it to John to call, and John ended up talking and going.
Nah, see, that's 90-something. That wasn't even 2000. That's 90-something. We ended up opening up a recording studio on... on
10J Street.
No. We ended up opening up a recording studio on 13th Street in Park Slope.
Right.
So I produced a record called Dutchie Man. Cosmic
Right,
Kev,
right.
all of them was playing the record because they thought
you got something before
they
we got
thought
there.
they thought the Neptunes produced the actual beat, but it wasn't the Neptunes. It was actually me that produced it. So now normally me and Dave would produce together, but I just so happened to produce this particular track myself. Dutch heard it from Dutch and Spade and Major Figures. Dutch heard it and was like, I want that. They bought the beat. So they gave us $1,500 deposit. And then they, if they use the beat, they give you the remaining balance. So Top called me. He was like, yo, I don't want you to come to the crib. Dave ain't doing music. Dave went to church.
Yeah, I went to gospel.
So Dave went to church.
Music.
So I was by myself at Uncrib, producing. So I get to Uncrib, he like, yo, son, we talking, whatever. So we making music, doing whatever we doing, producing for Dutch and Spade, moving around. Un got me everywhere. When I say everywhere, he got me everywhere. So I see Dave, he's in front of one of the churches in the neighborhood. He's like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, I'm cool, I'm chilling. So I pull out my two-way pager because I'm getting ready.
See how far this go back?
Yeah, you talking about pages.
You know what I'm saying? I'm two-way pager. I'm sitting in a Motorola. So I'm talking to somebody on the two-way from the camp or whatever. And Dave saw me like, I said, yo, Aunt said come through. Dave was like, all right, I'm gonna come. So Dave started coming through, and then Dave started coming through. We started, man, listen. When I tell you we was in the studio with everybody, when I say on God, Swiss walks in the studio, the niggas go, yo, these are my guys right here. Yo, Swiss, I want you to hear some of the joints. So he playing the music, and nigga Swiss was like, yo,
Who are y'all, man?
Who did he said these niggas? He's like, yeah, the nigga Swiss said, yo, these are the next niggas. Fast forward, we in the joint with Clark Kent. So we God rest his soul.
Rest in peace, Clark Kent.
Clark Kent. So we collaborating with Clark. Clark was like, yo, my records, y'all records, this person records, yo, this Dutch and Spade album about to be through the roof. Records with Detroit Diamonds, records with Eve, record with Ludacris.
Luda.
You know what I'm saying? Rottweiler just gave us the If You Want It record. So we went in there, kind of moved some stuff around or whatever. And then, yo, bro, like, then we did the record called About My Business with Styles P and Spade. Yo,
y'all produced that record?
So we co-produced the record, but we was part of the production side of that whole album process. Yo, so he's playing some of Dutch and Spade's joints for Kiss and P. The nigga, so say I'm in the corner of the booth and the nigga Kiss is sitting there, the nigga call me over like, yo. He was like, yo, son, this shit is fire. You gotta hit me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was just doing Kiss of Death album, and like he was just amped off of the music, you know what I'm saying? And we all young at the time, so we all the same age.
Right.
So for them, it was like, these niggas is hot producers, and they in the same. You know what I mean? So he was excited as well, and I mean those experiences was amazing, but I don't think it was more amazing than running Latifah recording studio for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Meeting Shakim Compared, you know what I'm saying? Meeting Latifah, meeting Eric B, meeting all the legends that was coming in and out of there. So you know what I'm saying? But I mean, the experience with entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Well, I still talk to this day. You know what I'm saying? So, you can't make it up, bro. Like, you can't make it up.
While we was in that process, before that process, we've had, we were like underground, right? Because coming from Red Hook, a lot of people You know, you got your Shabazz Disciples and Hellraiser that people know from Sons of Man. People know them. But as producers, we were coming from that side of it.
Yeah.
And we were producing for Smooth the Hustler,
Trigger the
Gambler. We was producing for Tech and Steel, for Smith & Wesson. We was producing when Fab first came out, Fabulous Sport, as he was.
Fab in my crib before he even had a deal.
Yeah, so it was a lot of beginnings.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Literally, when they was just calling him Sport, not to cut you off, they was just calling him Sport. And that nigga was in my crib before Fab even had a deal, sitting in my crib.
You see all these collective stories y'all got.
That's just the music side. Because from that took me on a journey in gospel. Because I started doing R&B and gospel because I played. So I ended up doing gospel music. I ended up playing and managing artists. So I was managing all the underground gospel acts or Christian acts coming out of the city. And then I'm taking them around the country, and I'm taking them to Canada. I had an office in Canada. I was talking to people in England. So this kind of merges what we're doing now.
Okay.
Because it birthed us into the people we are now. Fast forward to us doing film, working with Un called us to do.
First, he called us to come and do the Cookout.
The Cookout. The movie The Cookout with Queen Latifah and
yo, that was my joint growing up, yo. Yeah.
Storm P.
At the Cookout.
Good.
Yeah.
Danny Glover.
When old boy got the basketball deal.
Yeah, that's tall homie with the cornrows.
Right.
Yeah.
Karan Pender was his name. So
wow, man,
we were at that apex, and the story with that, Un was telling us while we producing, Un is like, y'all got a few minutes to be producers because I'm about to be Mr. Director, and we like, what you mean? What that mean? And he like, I'm about to be Mr. Director. Y'all got to figure it out. Meaning he going into the film game. I never wanted to go to the film game because my mind was always Hollywood. My mind is like, it's too big. Like, what we doing? And, you know what I'm saying? Right. I didn't know we could do it at the level of what we're doing it now. You know what I'm saying? I always thought it was 15 trucks on the block, sound, this, that. My mind was there. I couldn't see it. You understand what I'm saying? John, on the other hand,
he was able to
grabbed it by the horns and ran with it. And likely for him to drag me into it, knowing that I'm hip to hip, you know what I'm saying? So it was like that for me.
Would John, you say that's how y'all friendship was? Like, was it more like you were like the doubter, the pessimistic one?
No.
And John was more like the optimistic, positive one?
I would never say that.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was more the one that was like, bro, we could do this. And you like, nah, son, I don't think we can do this.
Well, I'm going to give you my version. He could say his version.
All right.
When it came to music, I was never a doubter. When it came to rap, I was never a doubter. When it came to us doing beats, I was never a doubter.
But he said friendship, though. Part of the friendship.
What you mean?
For instance, so I give you a perfect example, right? So I gotta fix it too. So Jazz, if you see this, I gotta finish. So I'm doing Wayne's. He's doing Wayne Scotting in the crib, right?
Okay.
So he goes, "Yo, son, I can't do it. Dave, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you, because I did it in my crib. So I did it in my crib. He's like, yo, damn, son, I wanted to do that. I'm like, you could do it. I can't do it because I can't get the measurements right. I'm good with numbers. Yo, bro, so I go to the crib, putting it all on fucking ladders and putting them up and all that stuff. So when you say optimistic, that's me.
Yeah,
when
that's where I was getting at.
Pessimistic, that's him. So he come to my crib, he'd be like, yo, damn, son, you did that. You just built in a weekend, like, you know what I'm saying? And then he'll go, I need a blueprint. I need, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
So for him,
Alright.
for him, he's gonna doubt. He is the doubter in aspects of that, because if it's not plain to him, he don't see it.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people that's like that though, bro.
No. So I'm gonna give
you know what I'm saying?
He's right.
Alright.
Right. I gotta see it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like it gotta be there for me to not to believe it, because I'll jump out the window, but I gotta know.
But after you see it, you're gonna jump out.
No, but I'm sure. I'm for real. Word to my mother, but with everything I love, right? I'm sure John. When John sees it, John goes after it. Pew. I'm holding John belt like, son, wait, don't jump off the cliff yet, because you might see the cloud, but it ain't nothing under that cloud, and the bungee cord might rip. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's where we marry at, because at the end of the day, I'd rather it be a safety. You understand what I'm saying? I'd rather it be a safety, whereas John's like, nah, we gonna do it. That's why I said I couldn't see no Hollywood. I couldn't see no big stupid picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't see that, because I'm like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do that. It don't add up to me. Now, if you give me the information through the years, after you gave me the information, I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah. Even if I don't understand it, I'm going, yeah, because I can see it now. Anything is possible with the film stuff.
Right.
So, even last night, right, we picking a place to do screenings. And I'm like, John's a big blank room, right? We could fit whoever we want to fit in here.
Right.
But the feel of it is going to take away from what people want to experience as far as a screening is concerned.
Right.
He like, nah, you don't see the aesthetics? And I'm going, of course I see the aesthetics. I know that you can put a projector on the wall. I know that people sit and watch and stand and drink. I know all that. I'm with all that. But maybe it's the assurity of knowing that I'm in the theater and I know I'm like this, as opposed to okay, yo, yeah, we in here, bro. It's live, boom, boom, boom. Opposed to that. So that's when me and him bump heads. It's always to go to a medium. It ain't to, I don't care what you say, or I don't care what you say. It's gonna go like this. It ain't like that. It's to
compromise,
figure it out. Yeah, it's to try to figure it out.
Right.
So when it came to the music, we was always like, that's hot. Like, yeah, that's hot. So when we was in Latifah's spot, when we was working with all these different artists and stuff like that, it didn't matter if he did the beat or I did the beat. Because if I did a beat or if he did a beat, I'm going to come sprinkle my dust on it. Or he going to come sprinkle his dust on it. So there's always something. The way we work here,
right?
Where I was trying to get to was when we was working with we was working on this thing called Sarah Muhammad. And there was a guy named Dave Phillips that introduced us to what filmmaking is. John was always privy to the cameras. I wasn't privy to the cameras, but I was willing. And when I was willing, Dave was like, yo, John Willie, let me show you. This is the stops and this is the this. I'm standing there like a little boy ready. I'm like, yeah, wait my turn. He said, no, Dave, you ain't doing this.
This ain't for you.
He said, no, come over here. So I'm like, what? He said, go to that computer right there. So I'm like, what you want me to do on the computer? I'm looking for a drive with the filming. Maybe I'm editing it. He said, no. You're going to fix the windows and you're going to spell out each thing. And I said, why? I said, all right. He saw me do that like 5 minutes. He said, you finished? I said, yeah. He said, yeah, you're going to stay right there. John Willie, you're going to be on the camera and you're going to do so and so and so. So basically what I learned from that was Dave saw the opportunity to teach John the film side of it on the camera, and to teach me the admin side as producing. You know, this is the cash. You're going to articulate this. This is the way things are supposed to go. Him and also my cousin Sarah Khan. My cousin Sarah Khan was a big help to us.
Yeah, he was.
He was in the business for a minute, I got some family that's in the film business, and he was actually before me. I got a Tony Award winning cousin named Virginia Capus, God rest her soul. She was Grandma Hattie in The Fresh Prince and all that. And she used to take my cousin on these road trips to Hollywood or wherever she was at, Jerry Lewis, marathons and stuff like that. So he started to sprinkle some of that in us when he came around. He's a writer, he's dope, and he started to show us some of that. So along with him and Dave Phillips, that's where I started to attribute to producing.
Y'all two remind me of people that will walk in a building full of people, and people will probably be like, probably overlook y'all and be like, yo, who this? And then they see that y'all dap up everybody, y'all know everybody, cool with everybody, people first name basis with y'all, because you just really would never know. I didn't know the catalog of you two. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't aware of the Queen Latifah Studios. You know what I'm saying? Because now I want to ask y'all, what was y'all favorite moment? You know what I'm saying? And then, because now I don't want to feel like
that's a lot, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't have a favorite. I think my favorite.
I do.
Go ahead. I think my most favorite moment. We got a lot of favorite moments. I can't say. I could say I could count how many good times I had. I mean, we was on the radio almost every day with Supernatural. When the radio was 98.7, so I was more of a rapper. I was more like on it, you know what I'm saying? So I think one of my best times was rapping and understanding I'm now turning into a producer. So I think my best times was we won a concert.
First
talent show. We did a talent show. And I think that was the first, we did it with acapella. And we was just rhyming, a bunch of us. And we left like nothing happened. And they called us back. It was like, yo, y'all won. And we was like, what? That was that was like my first trip down. Oh my God, we did something.
What year was this?
92, 93.
91?
92, 93.
92, 93.
This one, B-Cat was on TV and all that, right?
92, 93.
Video music box.
Video music box.
Right.
We had to be at the Arc. You had to
EO Dub, all them.
Yeah.
We had to do Sweetwaters. We had to do all these different places. You had to grind to get it. So.
All right. What about you, John? And then I got a question for all three of y'all.
I think my favorite moment is we're in the studio with Un, and everybody is there. Sean is there before he go to jail. Buster was there. Ram Squad was there. When I say everybody was there, and we're just moving through. But it was surreal because everybody knew who we were. And then I think what really did it for me is when Cosmic Kev came, and he was like, yo, you dope. And I was like, what are you talking about? Now mind you, I'm like, what are you talking about? And he just walked in, he was like, you're dope. And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, that Dutchie Man record is going crazy in Philly. You're dope. And I think that was my favorite moment because that was the time I felt like, yo, I did something that I loved to do at the time when I was in love with making music. I was like, I did something that was meaningful and people love it. So I think that was my favorite moment out of, because everybody was there. Buster, Sean was finishing up the album before he go to jail, talking to him. In Swiss is there. Everybody. So it was just different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was early 2000. So you know everybody.
That's the core of hip hop right
so
there.
So it was early 2000s.
Yeah,
you know
that was the core
so,
right there,
so,
man.
and my twins was like, and my baby boy was only like months. So I was really, I'm 25. I'm feeling it at the time. So, you know what I'm saying? And you're watching all of these people that you look up to that's now looking at you as a peer.
Right.
Because you're in the same room as them. So that was one of my favorite moments.
AMIR, I want to know what was the moment for you that made you realize you could do this. I've seen you doing Broadway plays. I've seen you being a lead character, main character. I've seen you, being a background extra. Being on, 50 Cent's Power Universe. If it's one thing, before you answer the question, if it's one thing that always stick with me, that Dave told me, right? He told me the reason why you guys do this, right? The reason for putting together the Red Hook series, the film, and all that was to give everybody a shot to display their acting talent, give everybody the alley-oop. Dave broke down the whole idea of, yo, bro, I'm trying to get my people out the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Red Hook series story ain't like a made up story.
Right.
It's some shit that, like, bro, this is really happening in real life. I'm trying to grab my people out of Red Hook and let them know it's something else out there y'all could do and be successful in. And I'm always remember that because a lot of people don't think of it like that.
That's the Adam Sandler effect, we like to call it. Adam Sandler made Happy Madison to keep his people working, to keep those actors working.
Right.
Same thing Tyler Perry did, the same thing Spike Lee did, what we're doing, what Denzel's now doing. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to do that, and we realized that we could do it. Once we did that, it was like, oh snap. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at.
So when did you realize this was like gonna be your life?
I mean, respectfully, I'm gonna go all the way back to when I was a juvenile. I ain't had no mother and father growing up to raise me, you feel me? I lived in 11 different places, 11 different years, 11 different schools, you know what I'm saying, that type of thing. I was on a Greyhound at like 7 years old by myself. And my whole point is that when I used to be around people and everything, I just wanted, like, my whole thing was I wanted to tell my story.
Right.
That really, like, I'm going back then. I was trying to go about it. Learn, you know what I'm saying? I went to drama school in high school and, like, elementary school and middle school. I was trying to find out how can I be an actor. You get what I'm saying? Like, back then, it ain't like now how they say, like, back then you really had to grind, like, you know what I'm saying?
Newspaper ads, all that stuff.
Yeah, but I didn't know how, you know what I'm saying? But I just knew, I'm like, yo, I want to tell my story. I want to be an actor because I want to write a book one day and tell my story because the life that I live, you know what I'm saying, coming up. But what really, like, made me realize it is crazy that they spoke about her. Queen Latifah, I was a background extra in Just Right. And the scene was at the basketball.
Just Right. That's the one with Common.
Yeah. And
what the fuck? I ain't even noticed that.
Yeah, I'm in.
Now I'm about to go watch that again when I get in the crib because that's crazy.
I just came home for doing 3 years, and I'm still just stuck on trying to be a, you know what I'm saying? So I went, and got involved, in the craft or whatever, and got booked for it. And it's like I said, the basketball scene. Imagine all them people in the basketball scene.
Right.
For me to be handpicked to be placed where I was placed at, just so I could get a visual on camera. And they tell you in the game, like I was learning from the people I'm around, yo, if you get on camera, that means they watching you. Because it's not normal.
Definitely.
You're not just gonna be. They're not gonna tell you just sit there and put you on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when my people saw it, my family, like, I just saw you on TV, and I'm like, that's when they hit the bell. Like, hold up, you know what I'm saying?
I
like,
can do this shit.
I might got something here. You feel me? And that's how I just kept doing it. Then I ran into, you know, like I said, about a brother, Barry A. Austin, you know what I'm saying? And I met him on set. I think it was on the set of, damn, what's the name of that show, bro? I forgot, but
Life?
Nah, it was like a cop show with the female. She was the chief and stuff like that.
Law and Order?
Nah, damn.
Brooklyn.
Nah. Yo, son, that's crazy because it was a while ago, but we was on set like that, you feel me? But long story short, you know, like I said, I did with spiritual already. Like for me to be visualized on a Queen Latifah film, then like the Big Bros and them, they done did things with Queen. Like everything I told you I did with spiritual, like it's like that same wavelength, just a different aspect. You know what I'm saying? And bro, he had a book. He was writing his book, and he looked at me. And because I thought he was somebody from my hood, I approached him like, "Yo, big bro, what's good?" Like, you know how I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm all outspoken or whatever. He told me like, "Oh, my bad." I said, "My bad. I thought you was somebody from my hood." So when I went and sat down, bro called me back like, "Yo, come here, man. I'll let you real quick, bro." The picture that was on his book was identical to me. He said, "Yo, I think you would fit my, you know what I'm saying, to be the character in my book, yo, and that's wicked." You know what I'm saying? And then he, you know what I mean. He had the book signing for the book. I met Dave at the book signing. So Dave was like, "Yo, come by the crib, you know what I mean? Chop it up, whatever. Because I was telling bro, I'm trying to get involved, you know what I'm saying? Like with the industry, like I really, you know what I mean? I ain't got no manager or nothing like that, but we were supposed to do a coalition like how we is right here, you feel me? Like a whole family thing.
Right.
They had jokes on me though, these two. Because when I came into the, you know, like how I am now, outspoken, like, yo, it's good, like, you know what I mean? I'm acting all ghetto, but I'm just me, you feel me? And there's like, yo, what you trying to do? That's like, you want to, like this, I mean, you out for self, or is this like what you trying to do here? So I'm like, yo, big bro, because you know, that's how I'm talking, like, yo, I'm saying, yo, y'all, I told him just like this, y'all be Baby and Slim, and I'm going to be Wayne, like, let's get this bread, you feel me? Like, but, you know what I'm saying, you know, like, you just meeting a person, you got to fill them out, you know what I mean? But my dedication was the fact that I drove all the way upstate New York, you feel me? I had my son with me and at that time my baby mother, you feel me? Just showing like, yo, I'm about to, like, shit, I ain't coming.
I really want to work for real.
Yeah, I ain't come out here for nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to get rich and slide off, you feel me? No Diddy, you feel me? But, you know what I'm saying? At that time, like, Dave was like, they both was in retirement, like, real talk. Like, they were, like, I swear to God, like, they'll sit there and talk all that shit right now, but, bro, I got them off the seat, you heard?
I was just about to say that. So so them seeing your hunger and your grind and your passion for it got them back in the game.
I'm asking questions every day, like word life. Like I'm calling Dave I'm like, yo, what up, big bro? You feel me? Like John asking about John 8. I'm making it known I'm here. You feel me? Like I ain't here to get rich off you dudes. I'm here like a family, like little bro. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm calling every day, like, yo, how do I go about, you know what I'm saying, with this thing when it comes to a contract, or how I go about this with a, you know, anything that had to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling. So I'm like, yo, I was like, yo, you might as well manage me, bro. Like, he's like, he started laughing. He take it as a joke now, but he ain't my manager, but he don't know that.
Basically,
he don't manage me.
Yeah,
point,
right.
You know what I mean? But I did everything on my own. That's why they respect me, because his thing was like they helped people in the past, and they put the bread up, and you know what I'm saying, they did them. You know what I'm saying? Like they did goofy shit. I'm gonna say like that. But I'm like, I told him like, nah, bro, I put my
that
own,
ain't me. Yeah,
I put my own bread. If you just show me what to do, you know what I'm saying? And that was enough for them to see that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that went about.
How do you navigate, you know, being from the streets and adapting to the professionalism in the game? How do you navigate that?
I need you to understand this when I say this. The same way I'm on the streets is the same way you see me when we doing what I'm doing. All I did was just change the product. Straight like that. And in my, like I said, with the interview with Big Bro and them, bro, I was really handling my business in the streets, you know what I'm saying? All I did was just change the product. And anything that I do, I really try to, you know, like I said, I really try to be the best that I can at what I'm doing, whether it's driving a car, whether it's raising a child, or, you know what I'm saying, or time I shoot, whatever it is, I'm not going to half-ass do it, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't no half-stepping.
Yeah, but Dave and them, they told me, like, you know what I'm saying, like I said, like, bro, you got to leave the streets alone. It's just that simple because you can't do it hand in hand. If you look at what's going on right now, how they run around grabbing, you know what I'm saying? It's they picking, you know what I'm saying?
Most people have 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
And like I said,
and that's usually how a person get wrapped up.
They coming around grabbing right now in the industry. Everybody that's they grabbing, and you know what I'm saying. I almost fell victim to that, but like I'm like, yo, I just had to just, bro. Like I said, brother Barry told me, yo, you gotta take a leap of faith, and I just jumped off the bridge, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, right? You did impress me because I remember watching you act in a play. Right? And then, you will always post some scenes and stuff. And I'm like, man, I remember you did some scene where you was crying, you was sliding down the wall. You know how people always make it for the light-skinned guys and be like, light-skinned niggas cry and they slide down the wall and shit, right?
With that, not to cut you off, bro, you know what I'm saying? CEO production, CEO. I mean, mess with the bro Ray Lute or whatever. They was, I guess.
Shout out to Ray Lute. I just spoke to him too.
They was shooting them. I guess they was about to start filming something, and I was trying to, you know what I'm saying, audition or whatever. So bro said, send me a video, you know what I'm saying, crying. Feel me? I did that shit, and the numbers went up on that shit. And I ain't even hear from bro. Yo, I swear, that day I never heard from bro again. Like I don't know what that was about, but he helped me. Whatever he did, that helped me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you was able to channel in a character, but I'm like, it impressed me because I'm like, yo, he playing that character well. Because this the same dude that'll, you know what I'm saying? Tell you come up off that. You know what I'm saying? I felt it was very impressive that you were able to channel in a character, because a lot of people would talk to you and meet you and judge a book by its cover and wouldn't even assume that you could act like that.
And what's crazy, like I said, like it's like we meant to be here. Like I'm telling you some real stuff because when I was listening to the questions you was asking and the responses that you was giving, bro, we in the same parallel. You know what I'm saying?
Everything is in sync.
Yeah, the same way how you said that they go in a room and they like overlook. You know what I'm saying? But they really that.
Yeah.
Yo, my whole life.
It's just like that.
Bro, like, I'm really, like, I'm the plug. You feel me? Y'all just know them, and y'all more big on them, you know what I'm saying? But y'all don't even know that I'm the reason for them, you know what I'm saying? Like, that type, because of how I carry myself, and I'm not, like you said, like, I'm overlooked. Straight underdog. And that's, I wear that title faithfully, gang.
Underdogs, man.
I love it.
It's underdog season, too. Yeah. The underdogs always win, yo.
I told him that, yo.
It's underdog season.
When we got on, the name of our rap group is Underdogs.
See what I'm saying? That's crazy.
I ain't know that. I don't know if you know that, but I ain't know that.
I just told you I ain't know.
Yeah, I ain't know that.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it's meant for me to be here with my bros. Because our life was parallel. We just had to meet, you know what I'm saying? For everything to be the process to complete. Because it's always you missing that one, you know what I'm saying, component.
Right.
Oh, and shout out to Sincere Cyphers because...
Definitely. Shout out to my bro Sincere,
because real talk, that's how I started, you know what I'm saying, watching your podcast and started following you.
Yeah.
Because, man, bro, like, we linked up, like, through work. Like, I was delivering to a place he worked at, you feel me? And we just, every night we kick it. And then he let me know, like, you know what I'm saying, what he do, whatever, as far as the battle raps and everything. And then I started, you know what I'm saying, and I saw he had an interview on one of your spots, you feel me? But that's how, so shout out to Sin, word life.
And that's why I feel like even like tonight, right here, with us doing this interview, I feel like all this shit was meant to be. Somehow, some way, it was meant for everybody to work together, click up together, and, drive out this passion, you know what I'm saying? Right. You got them off the stoop, you know what I'm saying? And they got you out the streets.
Yeah.
And now look how everything is returning the favor. Now they got me in the film. You know what I'm saying? In a show.
Yeah, a show, not even
in a show series. Now let's get to
the bread and butter.
The Red Hook series. Right. Season 1 coming soon.
Yeah, sure.
You can find your boy FatBoy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Find your boy FatBoy in it. Season 1. You know what I mean? I'll be back for season 2 though.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean? I'll be back for season 2.
Definitely. And 3 and 4.
What made this? Now we already spoke on the reason why you like to do stuff like that to help your people out and help them display their talents and stuff. But what's another reason on how the Red Hook series transpired and how you feel about your character in it?
The way that Red Hook series came about.
Yeah,
it's a continuism, right? Like those stories been booking, like they've been cooking for a long time. John just happened to put the pen to it. John wrote it. We've been working on things up to that point to get us to that point. You know what I mean? Because we've done a series before, but it wasn't. We've done a series before, and it gained a lot of notoriety, and we just didn't know better back then. To this point now, we know better, and we know that somebody just can't come and take it, or somebody can't just say they wrote it, or somebody can't just say that they created it. You know what I'm saying? We're at a point where we're actually able to contribute to the arts the best way we know how, and create something that's been brewing in us in a long time. And I'ma say this: John created what we're calling the Red Hook series now a long time ago, and I just happened to join him on it, and it works for what we're doing. We kind of like made it into something bigger and greater, and I'll let him go. You go on that, John.
The Red Hook series was my baby. First thing I ever wrote.
Oh, for real?
Ever wrote. First thing I ever put pen to paper.
Was it called the Red Hook series in the very beginning?
It was called something else. But first thing I ever wrote. So then I go to his cousin. I said, listen, here go all of these pages. I need you to fix it. So his cousin fixed it. It became something where Dave ended up introducing me to some guy, and this guy introduced me to a guy out in Ohio, so we ended up getting a commitment deal with Bounce 28 or Bounce 25 or Bounce something.
It was Bounce TV.
Bounce TV, but it was 25 or 28 Ohio version. So we had a committal. So they was like, yo, so we ended up redoing it. Ironically, I'm not the one shooting it. We don't want you to shoot it. We just want you to EP it. All right, no problem. For the love of the project, even though it's my baby, I sacrifice whatever. Long story short, it went left. You ended up watching it on TV later on Stars. You know,
that's all we gonna.
So
yeah.
So you ended up watching it later on
Stars. Do you another bomb?
So a year ago.
Stop stealing.
Right. A year ago.
Stop stealing.
My youngest son saw the script in this email. He was like, yo, Daddy, you need to redo this. Paperboy Ty, the one that's on the song that you hear on the actual
trailer.
On the trailer.
Yeah.
Paperboy Ty. So he's saying, yo.
That's the song I'm waiting for. Sorry.
Yeah. Listen.
That shit,
bacon, egg, and cheese, man. I'm on a roll.
I already told him I told him you want it. He said he went to the studio, he cleaned it up so you can have it. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, he was like, yo, Dad, you need to redo it. So I went back and I just started redoing it. So my daughter's an English major. So anything I needed done, my wife types, whatever, so I'm getting them to do all of the hard work for me, but I'm moving stuff around.
Shit, teamwork.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So then I sent it to Dave. I said, yo, I want to do it. He said, you sure? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, he ready. He was like, yo, this is dope. He was like, I don't remember this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool. So I actually kept a lot of the same names that was in the original. And then something in my spirit was like, nah, change everything. So I started changing everything. But everybody kept saying, keep the Philip Porter part. So I kept his name the same. So long story short, my son was like, yo, Paperboy Ty was like, yo, Daddy, I got this. He's the executive producer over the project. So I'm actually working for my son. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So which is crazy. So he said,
So why Paperboy Ty not here?
you know what I'm saying? I told him to pop out, but
Yeah.
But long story short, he hit me with the the whole scenario, So I did it. You know what I'm saying? I brought it to Dave's attention. He said so and so and so. Then moving forward, we went into production. You know how that go, and then this is how it just started developing. So now, next thing you know, I'm like, yo, we need this. Yo, we need this. We need this. We need this. We need this. Then Dave was like, yo, I want to implement this person or that person. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to pin something real quick. Pin it up. Pop, 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 pop. I'll send it to Dave. Dave, now I got Dave fixing all of the grammatical errors. And then he's sending it to whoever's going to be in it or whatever the case may be. But it's a lot of scenes that were added to it, which it needed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it literally needed it.
Right.
But I'm glad that, Dave was like, nah, we need for me to pin and keep pinning. Like my boy Julius just sent us the first episode for season 2. So I read it and I was like, I just sit on it for a little bit. I was like, Dave, I don't like this part of it. And he was like, all right, so I'm going to send him some notes. Because I get busy too, but I'm not like them. Like the writers that they normally take my notes or what I put together and then they embellish. Okay. So I'll do 15 pages and I'll say, listen, turn these 15 pages into 20. So they embellish. Turn this 25 pages into 50. They embellish. So, you know what I'm saying? I could do it, but it take too much time for me. But the whole reason why South Brooklyn was even done because it was to get all the way over back there. It was because it was put in my spirit to put it back out.
Okay.
It was. This was something that
the industry needed it.
I knew
it needed it.
This is something that I knew that will change the summer of 2025.
Definitely.
So, with it coming out in April, with us going back into production in May, with the consistency of everything, it's going to change our summer.
I can see it. I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of it, but I could see this summer is about to be one of them summers.
For all of us.
Yeah.
For all of us.
This summer about to be one of them summers,
for
yo.
For all of us.
Yeah. I'm trying to be, maybe I come rob AMIR a little, you know what I mean? Come take a brick out of his house or something. You know what I mean?
That's the problem. We got. So for me, in my mind, the character like FatBoy,
get ready to get a glimpse.
He's a key component to the humor character. So when you hear him telling, yo, I heard the spot, most people are gonna be like, nah, he up to something. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna start understanding who this character is. You know what I'm saying? Outside of reading the actual script and reading who Humor is, you're gonna see how the rock star, the FatBoy, and how all of those guys play into that antagonistic part of the whole series. So Yeah, man, look out for FatBoy, because you're going to see him doing
You heard? Look out for FatBoy, you heard?
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
So, but the way we have it, like even with the AMIR character, like the Zaza character, like you're gonna see his character develop. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna see him become more savage. You know what I'm saying? And even Q, like you're gonna see her become more savage. You're gonna see Porter become more savage.
Okay.
In the upcoming seasons, like you know what I'm saying? So that you understand that none of these guys are playing. This is serious business, but you want to see them develop. But I want people to actually fall in love with the characters. I want people to be like, nah, I like that kid. The FatBoy character, I like him. Like the nigga just smooth, but the nigga just be moving in the hood. Yo, you know, remember so how the nigga used to move in the hood? That nigga moved just like him.
Like that.
Like, so I want people to be able to identify with
relate to the characters.
To the characters opposed to it feeling made up. You know what I'm saying? So when you see like Zaza, he got the messed up eye and all the other stuff like that. So you'll see the backstory to the eye.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? And you'll see why he's so like laid back and smooth, because when you see that other side come out, you're gonna be like, this little nigga. This little nigga should. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a different summer for all of us, man. And it's I gotta say shout out to the whole South Brooklyn family. When I say the whole, I'm talking about the Giraffia brand. I'm talking about
definitely
humor. I'm talking about Scoop as far as sound. I'm talking about natural. You know, I'm talking about I'm talking about Lens. I'm talking about I'm talking about everybody, because we have developed a family. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying it, and I'm not leaving you out, but because I'm speaking to you, so you know.
Yeah.
But we have developed a family that I know that is bulletproof. You know what I'm saying? Like we already know what we're supporting. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even just a show. It became a movement.
Yeah, definitely.
It became a movement, and what we created in regards to this movement, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, people were really like, yo,
this shit changing lives, bro.
Like, people looking at the trailer and they like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with you, when you was like, I didn't know that shit was gonna look like that.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I watched that trailer like 10 times a day. You know what I'm saying?
But for you to say it, because you looking at the cameras, yeah, the cameras is chunky and all that, but when you go, you like, you know, it's probably gonna look like one of them YouTube shits, you know, but I'm doing what I'm doing, like, you know what I'm saying? But then when you look at it, and you like, nah, this shit made for TV.
Yeah,
like,
definitely cinematic for real.
Like this made for TV. And then you going, yo, hold on, like, I didn't see none of this when I was shooting.
Yeah,
like,
way
you know
complete
like,
different
I didn't
look,
see,
yo.
like, I didn't even think it looked like that. You know what I'm saying? But then when I pull the colors in and I start moving stuff around, and you like, nah, like just y'all back and forth on the trailer, like you like, you know how you'll see one color here, then the other side. No, everything match. Everything feel match. Good. Everything is leveled out, because that's the level we playing on. We playing on a level that niggas is not playing on. Niggas is just picking up cameras. I was taught by Dave Phillips, God rest his soul, how to do cinematography, how to feel your shoulder in the shot, how to fill your shot up. Make sure there's no empty space in there. Make sure something is on the wall. Niggas still shoot white walls. I don't shoot white walls. You gotta put a picture there.
Gotta put a picture, yeah.
We don't shoot
something
white
gotta
walls.
be there.
So that way, and then lighting, everything, all that stuff means something. You know what I'm saying? Just the way we light, and you know. So this is a movement. This is not just a series. This is a movement that has a series.
Right.
This is a brotherhood and a family that just has a series, and what we about to bring to you guys, you know what I'm saying, is a moment of clarity.
A moment of clarity.
What we're about to bring y'all is a moment of clarity. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's
when
right.
you look at the trailer, you see a moment of clarity.
A moment of clarity.
You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
That's a fact.
And I'm not a cocky person. I'm not braggadocious.
Just happy,
but
man.
I know when I heard, yo, you know what I'm saying? They might end up trying to spin back, like, you know, when I heard and I seen, and like I said, you know what I'm saying, like all I want to know is what do we lose and what do we got, you know, when I'm looking at all of this stuff play itself out, like when we edited the first episode, you know what I'm saying, like we got Shy in it, you know, Meth Daughter. Like,
shout
you know
out
what I'm saying?
Shy.
Shout out to Shy.
Shout out to my man Smoke.
You know what I'm saying? And when you look at the first episode with them in that room, you like, nah, they really in love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's everything.
Shy ain't come to play.
Yo,
Shy ain't come to play.
Bro,
She playing that character really well.
Listen.
Like, wow.
I'm telling y'all, what you guys are about to see.
It's good.
That's coming out of us, because though we on the podcast Moment of Clarity, you know what I'm saying? But son is, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had an interview himself.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? Like, he got an interview himself.
Yeah, I get why you say that.
Because real talk, at the end of the day, like, he's playing a character that's episodic. Like, he's not. You saw him here only for, that's the setup. That's to get you set up for what's coming. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you see Zah, and he like, yo, that's between me and him. I talk like when you see these shots and
very
scenes,
suspenseful,
and you see it, but I'm talking about when I'm behind the edit and I'm watching it and I'm coloring it, it's different. And this shit is leaping off the screen.
It's stuff that y'all can't see.
It's leaping off the screen, and y'all don't see it because y'all in it, and I gotta watch it through a lens and make sure I get it. And when I get home and I put it in the computer and I send y'all guys stills out, and I'm like, yo, check out the stills, and everybody like, yo, the stills look crazy, and I'm like, that's the screenshot from the computer. Like,
that's not even the finished.
That's not even the
finished product. It's just a screenshot.
Me just a screenshot, and me just saying, let me just see what it looked like before I tweak it and all that other stuff. So, I mean, bro, like, I know I was a little long-winded, but I'm just excited about.
We all excited for this.
We're doing.
That's your baby, bro, and you seeing it come live. That's how it's supposed to be.
But you I do gotta say this because he said.
Shout out to Marlon Reed too, big bro.
Shout out to Marlon Reed, man.
I was also gonna say, John said South Brooklyn. It's the Red Hook.
I heard that too, but I'm thinking
it's the Red Hook series, and he's passionate.
I was just about to say that.
His baby.
He's passionate about it. You know,
as he should.
To be honest, this is something people are telling me. Right? They're telling me the first time they see it, they go, "Yo, what it's about?" And I go, "Well, what the trailer telling you?" And they go, "The trailer's just saying like I can see this guy's the main character, but what it's about? Because it's like." You don't know yet. I said that's the good part.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Because
keep thinking.
If you could tell from the beginning to the end,
right,
what it's about, what you're watching it for.
That way.
You know what I'm saying? You could have different reasons why you want to watch a film, but when you know that it's a lot going on, and you could grasp onto FatBoy, you could grasp onto Zah, grasp onto Porter, you could grasp onto Shy, you could grasp onto
the mind everywhere.
Anybody. You're gonna, like what he's saying is, you're gonna fall in love with a character.
Right.
You're gonna catch one of these things.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, why is this person shooting them in the first place?
We gotta save room for suspense.
Why is this happening? Why is he screaming in his face? Why is he talking about, yo, it's gonna spin back? Why is any of that going on?
Don't give him the recipe. Don't give him the recipe.
Yeah. The truth of the matter is, it's an omelet of things, and you can't tell it all
Right.
at the same time. It has to build. That's why it's a series. You can't put it in a movie because a movie's only an hour and 40 minutes.
They're gonna want more.
So this is we call John the mad scientist, right? We call him like Abbott.
He called.
We
This
call
is
him
what. No. Stop, because I was about to get to that.
Okay.
This is what I'm telling you, gang. Real talk. They superheroes. You feel me? Like we all superheroes. You know what I'm saying? His name is the Visionary. That sums it all up with everything. You know what I'm saying? I call him the magician because, like he said, he give it to him and he do what? Make magic.
Make magic.
Through his eyes. And I'm the, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm the shooter. But I'm the shooter that's underestimated. I call myself the underdog of the whole movement. So he the visionary, he the magician, and I'm the underdog. You know what I'm saying? And together, that junk just goes to, we got our own Justice League, man.
Yeah.
And we
That's a well good team right there.
And we recruiting. You feel me? But we only recruit ones that's like just like us and got this, and fighting for the same cause, just like what the Justice League, right?
Right.
Yo, the actors, they be telling me, it's this dude. He said, everything. A couple of them go, everything feel different. It don't feel like we working. And I go, that's the point. The point is to make it feel comfortable, so that we can really perform what we're doing. And like, son, I love how people been there doing it so long, and they just feel like we all.
It fits together perfectly, right?
Facts.
It's crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy because you kind of like get scared. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the jitters, and then you like, this is going too good. Like, it's going real good.
It's a fact, bro.
You expect somebody to do something wrong. You expect somebody, you want to scream at somebody. You expect something to go crazy on the set. And you know who yelling at each other? Me and John. There's nobody. We ain't yelling, but
Yeah.
And it's like, shout out to Marlon Reed from Philly. Shout out to Scoop. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Natural. Shout out to Aqua.
Facts.
Shout out to Lynn.
Nate Galore.
Everybody.
Shout out to Nate Galore, my co-producer.
Right.
These people came together for a just cause to make this thing pop. Shout out to Giraffia.
Oh,
definitely shout out to Giraffia.
They closed the whole set.
Word.
The whole set. You understand what I'm saying?
Mark Scheisse.
This stuff don't happen on a set like what we're doing. This is an indie set that if we got a check, this would be something else, bro. But the good part is, we know what to do with it.
Facts.
You ain't gonna blow your check and then things start breaking up.
I could just imagine with the way how you cooked up the trailer and the quality, right? Oh my God, I could just imagine. I could just imagine, like, son, it'll be like really on some like real like movie type feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the way it's so cinematic, just from that minute and 30 seconds is already leaving people in like, when is this shit coming?
But
you know what I'm saying? We need this.
But go back to your original question about my character.
Yeah.
Bro, that's what I'm trying to tell you. John know what he doing, gang. John gave me that script 2 years ago. Not to put it out there like that. But he said, study for the character. At that point in time, it was a different character name. He said, this you. Mm-hmm. Study for him. Son, he know what he doing. Because the person that he picked and told me to study is me. Even though you know what I'm saying? Whoever, bro.
You individually.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you know what I'm saying?
It ain't really acting, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's natural.
So he's playing.
You know what I'm saying?
What I like to say with the cast is this person is playing this person, but not playing this person. This person is playing, like, I got my man, LeVar.
Right.
Whose name is G that you was in the.
Shout out my boy Al. What up, bro?
Shout out to LeVar.
Yeah. LeVar is playing a person that he's not. But the other guy's playing him in real life. So you got different aspects of what it is.
Right.
Black is being played by my man Trey. Yuma is playing Yuma, but ain't Yuma. You understand what I'm saying? We got police in it. We got
Doctors.
But Yuma
doctors
is
in
playing
it.
Yuma. That's
Got
Yuma.
you. I got you. But I'm trying to say that whatever you think it is, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's not.
Whatever you think it is not.
They know what they doing, bro.
It's a certain aspect that John's been able to pin, and these people been able to bring the character out. Cause what did we tell them? Make this character your own character.
Yeah, of course.
Improv your own piece, because there's no such thing as a supporting role.
Mm-hmm.
A supporting role is somebody that wants to support the lead, but there's no such thing as a supporting role. You're supposed to come into this like you the lead. You take your script or your lines and turn your lines into what you may feel that you should be. I'll put it like this. And this is some real artistic, crazy stuff, right? Acting, from what I see, acting is so artsy. It's so dope, right? I wish I could do it, but it's so dope because you become this character that you get to play, and you can do whatever you want, as long as it's in the parameters of what it is. That's why we play with the stage plays. When you're on the stage, you can't mess up.
Yeah.
And they tell you on the stage, if you could
cannot
do that,
mess up.
you could do anything.
On the set, that's the filmmaker's ground. The stage is the actor's ground.
That's why I love improv so much, and I think it's very
It
important.
sharpens your
Yo.
skills.
Yeah.
So what we did was try to teach you stage on the set. We tried to say, yo, go over here and play with your character.
Right.
And become your character, because it's going to be second. Yo, you should see these dudes. They be like this. Yo, son, we be like, all right, ready, so they click right into the.
Yeah.
And I be
That's
sitting
why
there like,
when I got on set for my part, I'm going over it. I'm like, I asked you, I'm like, yo, can I do some improv? And y'all like, yeah, nigga, that's what we want you to do. Right. And once I got that, it was like, she was second nature. Because it was a regular conversation that I've had before in the hood before. Right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that felt scripted. It felt very, very, very natural.
and it felt better, right?
Definitely did.
It felt better when you improv, or when you take whatever that line is, and you it kind of jumps at you off the paper, and now you just spewing it out, and after that, like, y'all was one taking it.
Yeah.
You were just catching it from the angle.
Right.
So
right.
Y'all gotta. This is y'all.
Yeah.
When y'all see it,
we just gotta thank Dave being a musician, and thank John being a visionary. Cause this whole time you gotta ask Dave. I've been on him about season 2. Yo, I'm in season 2, right? I'm in season 2, right? I've been bugging him about season 2.
Nah, for sure.
Then for me to come here and do this interview with y'all, now I got my own moment of clarity on where my character FatBoy, that angle is gonna be taken in season 2, and that was just like music to my ears just now.
Because when the character, yeah, for sure.
He's like, yo, Dave, I'm saying, right? I can eat a sandwich. I can eat a sandwich. I could be singing or something.
He kept telling me, bro, you good, bro.
That's what it is. When you get bit, but I'm gonna say this right real quick. When you come on certain sets and you're able to become you, it make you want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So it when you came, you could tell when you first came, you're like, all right, let me just try to,
feel my way
through. But then once you got comfortable, you was like, oh, now this is family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the energy we try to bring on set all the time. No, come in and enjoy yourself and enjoy what you're creating. Because think about it. if you're in episode, say 3 in season 2, and episode 5 in season 2, then episode 1 in season 3, and then episode 3 in season 3, right? You're gonna see your character develop, but at the same time, you're gonna start having more ideas for your own character.
Right.
Yo, check it, right? I know it say that we gotta be sitting over here, but yo, you think it'd be cool if that might sound kind of dope. Like, all right, we're gonna shoot it this way, we're gonna shoot it your way. You know what I'm saying? Because now you have the leeway, to make the character actually come to life. So what we doing with the Red Hook series is we're creating a world within a world that's really a real world. Like FatBoy is a real person.
Right.
Za's a real
person.
So if I had to use a name, right, I'm not gonna use the guy's name because he's still alive. But there was a young guy, a young dude in my neighborhood like him, small like him, that kept a tech on him.
Raised terror.
So you dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know he's gonna air you out. So so from all of these different perspectives, none of these guys actually got along. But in the Red Hook series, in this world, you got the dream team together, but you got the antagonist, which is Yuma and his team now. And when you find out why Yuma is doing what he's doing in this series, like the backstory of it, y'all gonna be like, yo, that's sick. see, the backstories of all of these different characters is where, because everybody keeps saying, like you say, everybody look at the trailer and say, yo, what is it about? Did it capture you and do you want to watch it? Right. Everybody that see that trailer be like, yo, I can't wait till this come out. Right. But this is different.
Yeah. Right.
The first thing they say is different. And the second thing they say, this look like real TV.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing they compliment.
It looked like we should have been up on Stars.
We should have been somewhere else.
Yeah, we should have been up on Stars.
We did Love, right? Even when we did Love, somebody in the comments said, "Yo, why is this not on Netflix?"
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the quality was so good. They were just like, I guess they watching it on a 4K TV. Why is this not on Netflix?
Yeah.
People don't understand the other side of this, right?
The business part.
The business side of it.
Right.
And you'll get, yo, why y'all not this? Why y'all
always,
not that?
yeah.
Yo, you know how many times I heard we should have been on Tubi already? You know how many times I heard we should have been on this or that? It's not. This business, this film business, y'all gotta remember what we doing. Like, who's in this game? Who's playing this game? Who started this game? We just tiptoeing in it, right? Now we indie, right? And Red Hook is a real place, by the way, because people think Red Hook is made up. This is a real situation. We're products of that, and we're telling these stories about what's going on. And when I catch the story, right, because John be catching me, I be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But you can't say, so you know it's going to work.
Right.
Because it's a story. You understand what I'm saying?
It ain't no made up.
It ain't
no made up
a
script.
made up story. You know, I got the questions, yo, is this about me and my mans or me and my peoples? Because we didn't tell our kids that. Or is this about John when John was 16 and John was running around with a tech? Or is this about Dave when Dave was standing outside doing so and so and so and so? It ain't about none of that. It's a story. It's a story based upon what we feel it could be. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's everybody's story. Every hood, every place you go. If you would, like, people forget, right? Let me give y'all a little backstory. Red Hook was a place where people never came. Red Hook is the second largest projects
Right.
in the United States.
Facts. it
Next to
is.
Queensbridge.
Right.
Right? Red Hook, Al Capone came from Red Hook. Running the docks. Gotti used to play in Carroll Gardens, Cobble Hill, and Red Hook around the docks. You had the Panamanians running through Red Hook. You had Calvin Klein. You had Savior. You had all these different people.
You could name them. Dumar.
I can name Dumar. I can name Ty Williams. I can name T-Rock. All these people that we know. Bishme. I can name a bunch of people. A bunch of people that we seen. You know what I'm saying? They are big brothers. They are uncles. They are people. You know what I'm saying? But these stories are all encapsulated into what we now call the Red Hook series. Red Hook made Time magazine in 1988 with Mike Tyson on the front of it as the crack capital of America.
Capital of America.
People tend to forget. You could go look it up, right? Red Hook is now gentrified. But there's some griminess in there because Red Hook is grimy. So it's a lot, bro. It's a lot that these stories compel a lot.
Right.
Now you could tell the past, you could tell the future, you could tell the present. It's a lot going on, and y'all gonna be captivated by it. Y'all gonna see it. Y'all gonna see it. Y'all gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the time I drop this interview, season 1 should definitely, be out already, and y'all should definitely be able to get a glimpse of why we talking about it the way we are. I want to give a special shout out to all you good brothers. Thank you for, bringing me a part of this. This is something this is gonna be unforgettable. You know what I mean? Because we about to go on a good run.
Yeah.
We about to go on a good run.
I can say this though, right? I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna hear it later. Ace is one of the reasons why I got Shy as our lead female. I was looking for a lead female, and I mentioned to him that my man First was trying to get to Shy. He couldn't get to her as fast as I could, so I mentioned it to Ace. Ace said, "You talking about Cheyenne Smith that I just interviewed?" I said, "Yeah, Shy, met the man's daughter." He said, "Oh," hold on, click, 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 click. Yo, call Smoke. I was like, word? Call Smoke. Smoke was like, I bet Dave, so and we got Shy. So shout out to King Ace for having us to get Shy.
Ace.
Always, man. Always, man.
So yeah, I had to put that out there for you people. It's a moment of clarity.
It's definitely, hey, we got a lot of moment of clarities in this one, man.
Yeah, for sure.
We definitely do. Oh man, I'm just so anxious for this to drop. I want to thank y'all for coming. This King Ace Network Moment of Clarity show, Red Hook series.
And shout out Patterson, New Jersey, man, the Boulevard. You heard? Respecting my city and my hood.
Straight like that.
Paperboy Ty project coming out this summer. Y'all already know the record. Another Day is on the trailer. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be on your streaming platforms. Also the executive producer of the Red Hook series. So, go check out Paperboy Ty, man. He's about to drop. He's about to do some big things. You know what I'm saying? So I got to big him up.
Right. Shout out to every actor. Shout out to every producer. Shout out to everybody, because we ain't going to name all of them. But shout out to everybody. Because this is what it is a family. Red Hook series.